The Bourbon Bar, last call. Carol Burnett. So, Carol Burnett, when I graduated from high school, picture it, I gave my farewell address, Eastman Theater, George Eastman Theater, big turn of the century theater, lots of gold, the whole big giant chandelier thing. I got up on the stage. I was about 125 pounds, beautiful mullet, so think curly hair, nice mid 80s mullet. So I got up, I had the cap and the gown thing on. I go up to the podium. I gave my farewell address, which was really, really sappy now that I look back at it. But, it did the trick for the moment. But Carol Burnett, at the end of the show, used to tug on her ear. She used to do one of these. You guys aren't going to know this because you're too young. But she used to tug on her ear, and it was a salute to her grandmother. And so at the end of my commencement, my grandmother was in the audience. And at the end of my commencement address, I tugged on my ear. So I actually did a Carol Burnett at the end of my commencement address because as a greeting to my grandmother.
I didn't know that was a salute to her grandmother.
It was a salute to her grandmother. And so, and my grandmother actually got Alzheimer's the following year. And so, I cherish that. I did that because,
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my Carol Burnett connection. I played Carol Burnett once in front of thousands of people. Last call.
Boom cover or whatever. I ordered a cover for my mic, so
Nice.
that hopefully I don't get that
The popping.
the tinny thing.
Okay.
The popping. Thank you. Yeah, I got a pop screen. That's what it is.
Pop screen. All right.
So I ordered one of those for this mic. So hopefully that helps because I started. Kessler, I wanted to talk to you about this. There is a web page where you can basically narrate books and get paid. So I started submitting like applications and like things to start doing narration for books.
Wow.
It's
How
kind
do
of
you
cool. It's
record
pretty
it?
fun. I've only done like a few of them, and they basically, it's like the book, right? And then there's like the audition script, which is usually just like a page or two, but I have to read it like 3 or 4 times to get my like everything right? Because a lot of it comes down to how you're reading the material, right? Your tonality, dictation, like tempo, everything. So like I do it like 3 or 4 times until I have a final, and then I've submitted like 2 or 3
It's not porn.
auditions.
It's not porn, is it? You're not like reading things like stick this in your mouth.
All I gotta do is moan and say,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah." I mean, it's
Sweet.
real easy. Pays very well.
Awesome. That's where I was going. Last call. What else is going on?
Nothing. Lost my wallet last night.
Oh,
Yeah, so
ouch.
called to. So I tried to purchase something online this morning. My card declined. I'm like, what the hell? Tried again, declined again. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? So I call them and I'm like, hey, trying to make a purchase, like double check to make sure I had available credit, more than enough. What's going on? And they go, well, your card's been reported lost. And I'm like, that's so weird and ironic because like at this point I had realized that my wallet was missing. And the thought was like, okay, maybe I left it at the gym last night. And I'm like, okay, so that's weird. I'm like, but I didn't report it lost yet. Like, I haven't done anything. And she goes, more than likely somebody found it and then reported it lost on your behalf.
Oh.
But then when I called the gym to be like, hey, has anyone turned in a wallet? They're like, no, we don't have anything here. They checked the safe to make sure that the overnight crew hadn't put anything in. So it's like, because like if you're going to take the time to like do that as like a common courtesy, you'd think that they would just turn it in.
Have you checked any of your other cards that were in the wallet to see if they?
Yeah, nothing else. No, there's no activity on anything. Nothing's been used. I already reordered because like my corporate card was there.
Well, you know what? Well, maybe it just popped out of your pocket or something. You're just lucky that a nice person picked it up.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm thinking is gonna happen, LJ, is because I still have my Minnesota driver's license in there. So like, if they're not someone that was gonna turn it in but wanted to get it back to me, they'd look at the ID and go, okay, well I'm gonna mail it to this address. So I'm part of me thinks that my mom's gonna get a package, and it's gonna be my wallet in like a week. So I should probably give her a
that's
heads
true
up.
because they wouldn't know how else to get a hold of you, right? Because you don't have your current address in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's super unfortunate because I have these tile cards, which are like the trackers, the GPS tracking cards.
Oh yeah.
I took it out of my wallet like 2 weeks ago because it was just taking up space, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take this out for the time being. And sure as shit, 2 weeks later, I used my wallet. So
Hey, did you join a gym?
No, a good friend of ours out here works at Equinox, which is like the Lifetime Fitness out here.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, got us free guest passes to go
Okay.
last night. So I got in. There's no the location we went to though didn't have a sauna. They only had the steam room. So ended up steam rooming it for about 45 minutes.
Wow, Will is really missing his sauna. He really
So
is.
much, man. I can't wait to come back in November.
Last call.
Well, so to the point of trying to get Will and LJ to share with the audience who they are in a rather quick fashion. You know Anthony Bourdain for a long time. His show opened with, "Hi, I'm Anthony Bourdain. I'm a celebrity chef. I'm a blah 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 blah. I've done this. I've done that. I've traveled all over the world in great search for food. You know, and this is my TV show." So he actually, says a whole line or a whole paragraph about who he is, where he's been, and where he's going. And so, I mean, there's just thousands of ways that we can do this.
No, so I've been auditioning during the Great Resignation again. I've been trying to audition
Anthony Bourdain for you.
all the time,
Totally.
and I never saw it. And I still don't
Totally.
see
You
it.
quoted him in some. Isn't he quoted in what I read today? Don't you quote Anthony Bourdain on
Yeah,
something?
he's in one of the blog posts.
Yeah.
But
Do you want to do a podcast as Anthony Bourdain?
I don't know that much about him. I've looked him up. I never watched him.
You're auditioning as Anthony Bourdain?
No. The casting directors. But I remember even when he wasn't big, this friend of mine in San Francisco, he goes, you remind me of Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
And I still
Oh,
don't
I
see
guess.
You kind of talk like him too.
it. Yeah. When I was really auditioning in LA, I would also get a young Harrison Ford a lot.
I can see
Which I
that
did.
too. Well, you know how Harrison Ford got
Yeah.
his start, right? In acting.
I remember reading it. Wasn't he like wasn't he like a handyman or something? Yeah.
He was. He was for a long time. He gave up on acting, and then his agent or a friend of his said, "You got to come to this read. You got to come to this read." And they were just treating him like shit at the read. He was crabby at the read. And he said, "Fuck this. Like, I don't even like this." And he finishes the read for whatever reason, and they're like, "That's exactly the character that we need to be his character in Star Wars."
So it was actually
Han
the
Solo,
for
yeah.
Star Wars. I didn't realize it was for Star.
Oh, like the guy was George Lucas. George Lucas was like,
Yeah.
"I hate this guy. Like, get this guy out of here." He's like, and then his friend is begging, like, "Just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Let him read." Well, he's not going to get the part anyway, but I'll let him read today. And by the end of it, Lucas is so in love with him that he hires him to be Han Solo. So
There's still gonna be a chance. I was on. Have you heard of We Own This City on HBO? Yeah, I was on that. I got booked as a detective, but I went to the fitting and I was too tall for the wardrobe.
you're kidding me.
No, that's serious. And so they used me as a plainclothes cop.
That's crazy.
I'm glad you joined this today. Thank you. This
I've
is
really
great.
enjoyed this.
This is great.
The-
I go home and I think to myself, I hate the regular part of my life, and this is the thing I love
Yeah.
right now. And it's like, I want to, right? I mean, I want to quit my job. I go home and my wife's like, "Why are you in such a good mood?" I'm like, "I love doing this."
Yeah.
The Bourbon Bar, last call.